Hey guys, it's Jason here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. Today we're going to do kind of a quick comparison of the KURON Sketer with a few of my other trucks. So over here we have the ProFusion. This is a short course truck, so it's the longer wheelbase, unlike the Pro MT that was shorter. Right from the beginning when I bought this truck, I was going to do exactly what you see in front of you. I never bought it to be a short course truck. I knew right from the beginning that I was doing the Monster Fusion body. I knew I was doing those belted trenchers. And it was just always what I had planned. I never was going to do a short course or a short course truck build on it or anything like that. Over here is my Traxxas Haas. Now this is my Bigfoot build. So again, just like with the ProFusion, I always knew that the Haas was going to be what you see in front of you. It was never going to be a Haas. I ran it a few times with the body on it and all that stuff. But the whole point of buying that truck was to basically use that body. I haven't gotten around to the wheels and tires. I had bought a set. They didn't look as good as I was hoping, so I've gone back just to the Haas wheels and tires for now until I find something that I permanently like. But I'm going to try, guys, to do this quick. And what I'm going to do is this. You're going to see the Sketer beside the ProFusion. You're going to see it without the body. You're going to see it without the wheels and tires so that you kind of can get the idea of the size of the truck. Remember that the ProFusion is a short course truck, so the wheelbase, all that type of stuff is identical to every other short course truck out there. Obviously different in the sense that, you know, the ProFusion has an aluminum chassis just like the Sketer and all that kind of stuff. I have the Haas out because the Haas price wise is the comparison here. So the KURON Sketer is $489.99 and the Haas is $469.99. Except that one over there is fairly modified, guys. So it's got the ultimate upgrades on it. It even has a different AC and all that stuff. So that truck over there is probably a few $100s more than the Sketer. Now, before I get to that, I feel like I need to kind of put a disclaimer. And if I could do something like that nice and fancy across the screen, I would. But I don't know how to, so I'm just going to say it. This video is not to put down any brands. This video is not to be like, hey, this is way better than this. I don't do that. Most trucks that I have, guys, I have for a reason. I enjoy them. I like them. However, what's funny is that in the first video I ever did of the KURON Sketer where I unboxed it, I don't think once I mentioned the price. If you watch that video, you'll know that I got this truck sent to me by KURON, so I never really thought of the price. I was just excited to get the truck. After that, I was kind of sitting there one night, I was looking online, and I looked at the price of this truck, and I mean, at this point, I'd already had it, so I'd seen it and touched it and looked at it, and I thought, really? It's $489? Isn't that the same as many other less quality trucks? Isn't it even less than some of the other trucks? And that got me thinking, and it is the reason, guys, why I'm making, in a sense, the other half of this video. Again, it's not to bash any companies, guys. I like my Haas. It's been a fun truck. It didn't need a little bit of work in the beginning, but I still enjoy it, and that is why it's still around. But first, let's get to the Sketer and the ProFusion. All right, guys, just a quick shot of the two trucks without their bodies on. And you can see, you know, at first glance, they do look similar. They're both 110 scale monster trucks. They both have aluminum chassis. They technically are also both 4S trucks. The ProFusion was always kind of rated as a 4S truck, where the KURON right out of the box is a 4S truck. This being a kit, you could put whatever system you wanted in. I always ran the truck on 4S. The diffs themselves in this truck are a lot smaller, the spider gears and all that stuff. The Sketer has 8 scale differentials, center in the front and rear. This truck also has 3 fluid-filled differentials, but again, the diffs are a lot smaller, but to be fair, I've never had an issue with them. I've never had to replace them or anything like that. So again, a very good setup, just a little bit smaller. So I don't really know how that would handle 6S. Where this, knowing that most of the gear on this truck comes from their 8 scales, which are all 6S, at some point, guys, we are definitely going to be doing something different with this power-wise and definitely be cranking it up. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the wheels and tires off so that you can see them beside each other and get an idea on the length. Again, the ProFusion is about 1/4 of an inch longer. All right, guys, I don't know about you, but there is something about seeing a truck without its body on and without its wheels and tires on. I don't know if it's just seeing all the components, seeing the knuckles, seeing the drive shafts, seeing it in that raw kind of look going on, but they always look killer. And one thing I will say with the Corelli is your eyes will always come back to those outdrives. That spring steel outdrives, the Swiss made outdrives, just look incredible. They just scream. They actually scream aftermarket, which on every other Corelli truck they are. For some reason on the Sketer, they've included them right out of the box. And I do believe, guys, that the 2022 Kronos, the XTR, also comes with them. But what I want to do is I'm going to get these two trucks beside each other just so I can show you guys the wheelbase. We're going to line these up. I think we're good back here, or at least pretty close. There we go. And if you come up to the front, you can see that the ProFusion is about maybe 1/4 of an inch longer, which again, guys, this is a short course truck. I kind of, during the video, guys, I'm going to be referring it to a monster truck and a short course truck. Out of the box, it was a short course truck, but they did, a lot of people did turn them into monster trucks like I did. And what I'm going to show you guys right now, look at the size of the steering blocks on the Corelli Sketer compared to the ProFusion. Those things are just massive. And after yesterday, guys, if you didn't watch the video, guys, I took it out for a quick rip yesterday. I wasn't able to get really a lot of great footage running the truck just because everything was covered in snow and it was icy and cold and miserable. But the one thing I did get to do is I got to slam this truck into a big chunk of snowy ice. And when I thought it was going to break, it didn't. So I was very, very impressed with that. And when you see these things, you kind of have an idea why it didn't break, because those things are just massive. All right, so again, guys, I'm just moving the trucks around. I just want you guys to see them from different angles, just so you can get an idea of the size of the Sketer compared with the ProFusion. Again, this is a short course truck, so it's the wheelbase on this truck is going to be similar to pretty much every other short course truck out there. And if I haven't already mentioned, they are both 4S trucks. This was a kit, so I built it. I put in the electronics. It's got a nice Hobbywing sensored system in it. The Sketer comes with a 2150 135 amp ESC that also comes in the truck. It's RTR. These are Hobbywing. The ESC is Hobbywing. I have no idea about the motor, and I have not been able to find anything regarding who is the OEM of the motor. I have been trying to look. I just can't find anything. Even something, guys, says typing in just KV and trying to find a similar can, I couldn't. So unfortunately, at some point, if I ever do, I will let you guys know. But there it is, guys. I wanted to do that. I'm going to throw the wheels and tires and the body back on so you guys can just see them beside each other again, and then we're going to all right, a quick change of plans. I thought I would just throw the belted trenchers on the Sketer because I have a feeling that somebody's going to ask, so I might as well just do it right now. These would be great if I was going out and doing some high-speed runs. You would have to change the gearing because the diameter of them is smaller than the stock Sketer tires. So hopefully I can give you guys kind of a good shot there. But yeah, you can see that these are larger. So you would be able to gear up a little bit. So you'd be able to run a little bit of a taller pinion. I'm already going to be changing, guys, I think the pinion in this truck at some point just to see what I can do with it, kind of monitor the temps and all that stuff. But I'm also going to grab the body. There, quickly, guys, if you wanted to see the Sketer on a set of belted trenchers, these are the 2.8s. There it is. It looks pretty good. I mean, they look a little bit on the smaller side, but not too bad. Actually, I will probably, guys, definitely be giving these a shot at some point. They have the, obviously, the 17mm adapter on them because I was running them on the ProFusion. So, yeah, either way, guys, that looks pretty good. But I'm going to get the tires back on both trucks now. All right, so there it is, the Corelli Sketer in my ProLine ProFusion. Now, remember, I only did this, guys, to give you an idea on the size of the Sketer. Most of you probably have a short course truck of some kind. And again, with the ProFusion being a short course truck, same wheelbase, all that kind of stuff, that was the only reason why it's here. They have similar parts, guys, the aluminum chassis, metal drivetrain, all that kind of fun stuff. But if you were to compare these two on price, well, this thing sitting the way it is, you could probably buy 2 Corelli Sketers for the price of that one truck. You might even be able to buy more than 2. So again, this had nothing to do with price. It was just showing you guys the size. But now we're going to get to the Haas, and I feel like some people are going to get upset. All right, so here's the part where I compare the Sketer with the Traxxas Haas. Now remember, this truck is fairly modified, guys. So ESC, shocks, steering servo, steering knuckles, rear hubs, you name it, it's been done. I bought my Haas based around that body. So I always wanted that truck body on something. I didn't want a two-wheel drive Stampede though. I wanted a four-wheel drive. So that is why I bought the Traxxas Haas. They had similar wheelbases and they just looked good. I knew they were going to look good. So I bit the bullet and I bought the body separate and I bought the Traxxas Haas. I also, guys, though, wanted a fun truck to have that body on. So that is why I bought the Haas. Four-wheel drive, it had the center differential, it had some upgrades, it had their newer drive shafts and all that stuff. So I thought it was going to be a really fun truck. I got the truck, took it out with the stock body and broke the bell cranks the first run. I think it was actually the first jump. Now, to be fair, I've replaced the bell cranks with a set of hot racing ones and I've never had any problems with the truck when it comes to that. To be surprised, honestly, guys, the durability of the truck overall has been pretty good, again, after I replaced those bell cranks. However, I then ran into kind of a performance issue. The stock Valenian ESC wasn't quite cutting it on 3S. I moved up to this Castle, and even on 3S, I was able to up the pinion as well, and the truck came to life. And to be fair, guys, this thing is fast. You put 4S in it, and it is absolutely ridiculous. But when you put these two trucks beside each other, the fact that this one over here is $20 more than this stock. So remember right now, guys, this thing's probably 250 bucks. Actually, with the ESC, probably $300 more. Again, I'm basing this on Canadian, so I don't know what the US figure would be. But these two trucks, $20 more. And you guys can't feel this, but even something like the shocks, if you could feel that, okay. And this over here is just crazy, the difference in the feel. Now, I haven't broke, guys, the shocks on this. I have done some tuning. I've never been able to get this thing the way I want it. I've never been able to get it to sit the way I want. I'm going to work on it. I've got springs over on the board to try and all that kind of stuff. This thing, though, however, guys, right out of the box, just feels amazing. I actually think, and I haven't seen anything on it yet, and if I missed it, if somebody from Corelli's watching and they want to put it in the comments, I think they're using more of a heavy-duty spring on this truck compared to some of the other 8-scale trucks. Because I know with my Dementor, it was a little bit soft. I understand that Corelli has kind of a racing heritage. That's what they're really, really known for. So their vehicles would be set up more for handling out of the box. But a truck like this is a basher. It's got to handle somewhat. But for the most part, guys, the whole point of this truck is for, taking it off ramps and sending it. So I do really feel, guys, that this truck feels really, really good out of the box. And the suspension is definitely not stiffer. But it's going to be, I mean, again, guys, I'm saying that because it's going to be good. It's going to be good the way it is. But I don't want to go into this, guys, too deep because I don't want to piss off all the Traxxas guys. But the Haas is what it is. It was a very expensive truck. And unfortunately for me, it never quite was what I thought it was going to be. I remember once I was talking to a friend of mine, Aaron, at Great Lakes RC, and he asked me about the Haas. He was like, I watched that video. It looks like a lot of fun. What do you think of it? Like, can you be honest type thing? And I said, the Haas is a lot of fun, but I've had to change a lot. And the fun came after I upgraded the ESC and I went with this one and I was able to do the gearing and all that kind of stuff. That's when this truck became fun. The Sketer comes with great electronics right out of the box. And I don't know yet, guys, on gearing wise. I know it's got the 13-tooth pinion. I don't know what I'm going to be able to change it to. I might try to go straight up to a 16 and see how that is. Because, hey, that's what's fun. And I do enjoy doing that. I enjoy seeing what kind of performance I can get out of the truck. So I will be doing that. What I'm getting at, and I'm pretty sure I've rambled on for way too long here, is being $20 difference. You really have to be kind of nuts to buy a Haas over a Sketer. I don't actually think there is a truck, period, in this price range that compares to this truck at all. I don't care what you're looking at. Nothing is going to be on par. And the reason I know that is, guys, I looked. I did it for myself. I didn't do it for video. I didn't do it for this time right now. I was just curious to see what this truck competed with. And besides from custom builds like that ProFusion, Techno, a few other ones, I don't really think there's anything out there that is even close to on par. And there's definitely nothing RTR, and there's definitely nothing even close to that. All right, guys, I hope that went well. I hope I still have my subscribers. I hope there's not a ton of negative comments right now down there, because I know it is like creator slash YouTube suicide to talk bad about Traxxas. And I wasn't meaning it as a complete, oh, the Haas sucks, because that's not the case. I have had fun with this truck. But when you think that that is a 3S truck, so remember, you got to picture that right now with the stock Haas body on it, not that wicked Bigfoot body. The stock Haas is a 3S truck. And for $20 more, you jump up to a 4S, 21 kV, 130 amp Hobby Wing ESC, 25 kilogram steering servo, and just everything else that you see here. There pretty much, guys, is no comparison at all. This thing is absolutely crazy. Now, I have just noticed something out of the corner of my eye over here that I haven't really talked about much yet. I haven't even shown it on the channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my TLR Tune Typhon down here and let you guys see that next to the Sketer. All right, so again, I've just got the buggy sitting beside the Sketer so that you guys can get an idea of size. I know a lot of you might have 1/8 scale buggies, so this will be a good way to get an idea of the size. And that's it, nothing else, because I actually, guys, don't know much yet about my TLR Tune buggy. I just got it a little while ago, actually a few days ago, and as you can see, it still doesn't have any electronics in it. I'm actually not in a rush at all to get electronics in it, due to the fact that it's just yucky outside between the snow and the ice and everything like that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit different than I usually do, but I just wanted, you know, I find a lot of people, when a new truck comes out and you see it in pictures and you see it in video, you never really have an idea of the exact size of it. And I wanted to do that. I wanted you guys to know how this comes in, how it compares with other 10 scales. And for the most part, guys, I would say that this is a spot on 1/10 scale monster truck. It's not on the larger size, like let's say something like a Traxxas Max, but it's definitely not on the smaller size like the Haas or the associated rival MT. It's a pretty good size MT. And actually, guys, my Pro MT, not the ProFusion, but my Pro MT 4x4 was a lot smaller, and it was even smaller than this. So I feel like this is a really, really good size for a 1/10 scale monster truck. But anyways, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. Please subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and stay tuned, because I've got some pretty cool stuff coming.